Oh yeah, hi Aman, I'm Lavanya. I just finished my masters. I'm looking forward to get trained in Java and get placed in a good company so that you know here we do all fake experiences and all. I need to know what is a real world experience. How does Java work in there? And
All right. So your master's is in what? What
my
is your
computer
primary?
science.
Okay, I
Computer
finished.
science.
Sorry, I
In
think Lavanya
computer
was sharing something.
science.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Tell me, Lavanya. Yeah.
I did my master's in computer science in New York Institute of Technology.
All right.
Yeah.
And what was your majors in it? Any specific subject you have studied?
It's not any specific subject. It's like general.
All right.
There's no
And
specific there.
all right. And you have any awareness of programming in Java already?
I have a basic knowledge like about core Java. I didn't go through. I don't know about servlets, Hibernates, and all this that.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Secondly, what's your name? I didn't get your name. Come again.
Lavanya.
No, no, the other one, the other person was in the meeting.
What?
My name is Moab.
Yes. All right.
Yes, that's correct. I studied computer information system. I took my bachelor for like 6, 7 months. I have a background on like some experience on Android. As Java, I only have some basics like while loop, if cases, nested loop, and this kind of stuff. Only knowledge I studied them in my college, and that's my background. I worked since like 2010, 2009 as an Android. I have a certificate on Android. I have a certificate on PHP. I have a certificate on .NET. Like I have a very good background. That's my background on everything.
All right. That's good to know, Mohat and Lavanya. Now, I would like to know what topics exactly are you looking in Java. I reckon you already, both of you have some awareness. So, as per my understanding, I was supposed to have a discussion on the core part of Java, that is Java SE, the standard API. So, correct me, what are you looking into from this course?
I only expect one thing, that we got the experience that that we're going to be ready for the market for like 5, 6 years of experience in the market.
All right, that's true, but for being experienced, you have to demonstrate good understanding of the language altogether. Is that what you expect?
I expect on Java, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And what about you, Lavanya?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
The question was, I reckon you already have been, I mean, you already understand some basics of Java. So what is your primary expectation from this course?
As I told you, here we keep 6, 7 years of experience. Most of them take training, but the thing is, everybody faces a problem when they immediately go into the job. I don't want to face that problem. I just wanted to know what is the real-time experiences. It's okay. Yeah.
That's true. Experience comes secondary. First comes the subject knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So primarily my intention and my focus would be imparting subject knowledge as much as possible. And the consultants over there, the one Sanjay, I guess, yeah, they will take care of giving you some hands-on projects after your work is done here, maybe to get some hands-on experience. So the question what I'm concerned about is, are we going to primarily start working on Java basics right from the scratch so that we get a good in-depth understanding. Is that what?
Is that what?
Is that what you are also expecting? And
Yeah.
or you are expecting directly some of the frameworks what are used in the market, like Spring or
No,
Hibernate?
no, no.
Or
I want the whole concept, but including apart from that, I want the real-time experience. How does that work in the companies?
Yeah,
yep,
just as she said, like she's saying that we need the advanced topics. It will be a lot better for us because in that way we won't face any problems alone.
definitely. Yeah, I got your point. Just hang on for a minute. I'll start the presentation. Give me some time, and
Okay.
in the meantime, you can just get some tea or coffee or whatever. I'll just join in 5 minutes. I'll be
Okay.
here.
Take your time.
Yep. I'll just start my presentation and start with you.
Hmm.
All right, guys, I'm back here. I hope you already see my screen now.
Yes.
Yeah. Lavanya is there. Yep. All right. So let me have a brief introduction about myself. Alright, so who am I, what I do, am I eligible to take these things and all is what I am concerned right now. So I have 9 years of experience in the industry right now. My current position is working as a tech lead and Scrum Master. Alright, I have been into Java since day one. Back in 2005, I started my Java when Java was in version 1.4 something. Alright, I have been into roles like programmer. I have been a corporate trainer in technology. I have been a product trainer, mostly products in Java. Okay. So my current position is I am a tech lead and a Scrum Master, and I'm leading a team of 7 in Bangalore, and I'm working currently in Cisco Systems. I worked earlier for Convergys, IBM, and some other companies in my 9 years tenure. Alright, so that's my very basic intro. And I do trainings as a passion. I like imparting training and subject matter expertise to folks who are interested to understand technology. I also have experience in .NET programming using C#. So that's some basic intro. Alright, if you have any specific questions about me, what I do, apart from this, you can ask me, or else we can proceed further. I just wanted to have some highlights so that you guys have an understanding what I have a background and whether I'm eligible for all this or not.
Hussein, have you worked on like as UI?
Yes, I did work on technologies like AngularJS, and I did work on HTML5. I did work on Android programming for a while, Android mostly UI, and yep, I did work on UI, basic HTML, JavaScripts, those things.
Okay.
Yep.
Actually, I'm generally looking for a Angular is something that I wanted to go as UI. So.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much in good demand nowadays. Right now, my current project in which I am working is in Ember, but Ember.js, but I am not handling the UI part in this application. I'm working with Spring and RESTful API as a backend developer, and there are a couple of junior resources who are deployed on Ember part, and I do some monitoring of that. I do some code reviews and stuff. But yes, I have some alignment towards UI as well. And yeah, any more questions? All right, so I would just want to have a brief ecosystem of how Java, what are the possibilities, what you can go for. So if you start your career in Java, what is primarily expected from you is the understanding of core concepts. That includes your language features essentially, right? The language which makes Java so effective. It's what do you have in your language? It's just the rules, all the do's and don'ts, right? The core concepts. This includes the complete syntactical programming, like the loopings and arrays and the conditional statements, the flow of your applications and exception handling, etc.
Okay.
This includes most of the syntactical stuff. And then the standard library. In the standard library, the scope what you have is understanding what is util package, what is graphical user interface, GUI stuff, which includes again your Swing, and which includes AWT, applets, stuff, right? This includes concepts like multi-threading, using threading concepts. Alright, this includes stuff like files and IO related things. How do you interact with your local file system? How do you talk to the files? How do you talk to read a file, write a file, and how do you handle files in a multi-threaded environment, kind of things. Alright. So this is a primary package. This is a primary library, standard library. And then adding to it, there is another concept called as JDBC, which includes things like talking to the database, if you want to read something from the database, if you want to write something from the database. And this includes concepts like, last but not the least, networking. How does a Java application talk to another application on a network? So this is the standard library which comes as part of Java Standard Edition. If you might have heard of things like J2SE, this is Java 2 Standard Edition, right? So this comes as one course, this comes as one module with us, right? If you want to be good in your Java career, and if you have to have solid, strong foundation of the basics, doing this is very, very, very important. Because without understanding the language features, without understanding the syntax, without understanding the rules, it is very difficult for you to move forward. Though you have plenty of development environments, though you have things like Eclipse or IntelliJ or IBM RAD, Rational Application Developer, you have plenty of options, but understanding the syntax is pretty important. And if you feel that you are confident enough with that, then comes the question of having the understanding of standard library. Whether you are good with the util package. Utility package is one of the mostly used packages in your Java programming things. Things like collection framework comes in this, things like your calendar API, date API. There are plenty of things which are part of this, and this is part and parcel of almost every application in Java, the util package. And then GUI related stuff, if you want to have graphical interface to your applications, swings, applets, AWT are your solution. You have to have understanding of this. And threading, as you know, that multi-threaded applications which can respond to more than one call simultaneously. It can do more than one functionality simultaneously. And obviously files and APIs, you understand how to read a file, how to write a file, things are very important. This is one module, alright. So this is covered as part of standard edition. This is one course which I can offer you. Alright, then comes the second part, which is kind of big. It's kind of very big. I'll start with what stuff you have. Now this is ideally the API, which is called as J2EE, and it is also called as Java EE nowadays, right? You might have heard it is nothing but Enterprise Edition, right? And in this Enterprise Edition, The applications what you create using Enterprise Edition are meant to be used by maybe tens of thousands of customers simultaneously. It is not for a single user, it is for multiple users. You might have million customers simultaneously. Alright, so this is where we go live, or we are going on an internet environment where you have hundreds of customers. This includes again two important modules, two primary functional separations. One is the web module. Alright, and in this web module, Java offers you solutions like servlets and JSPs. This is one part, and then there are libraries like JSTL, Java Standard Tag Library. Okay, this is one part. Okay. So in J2EE, this is given as another course, understanding what J2EE is and what are the options you have to work on. This is given as one course. And in J2EE again we have the another module which we call it as services module, right? And in this, Java offers you things like EJB. This is one of the primary components of enterprise application, enterprise Java Beans. In this you have subjects like session beans, you have entity beans, and this has been again kind of modified with a technology or API called as JPA. And last but not least, you have MDBs, which is message driven beans, which gives you a message oriented architecture. This is offered as another course. So far, any questions?
No.
Are you guys aware of these things?
Yes.
Alright. So if I am going to ask you, what do you think is a requirement for you? Without any hesitation, which one would you choose first? I thought without any hesitation.
Core part first, the J2SE.
Alright, and what about Muad?
I guess the same.
Yeah, that's definitely the most important thing that's required, that's recommended as well, because having your basics foundations is what is very much important. And if you agree with me, then this is what is the right thing for you. Unless you have done formally a course on this, and unless you are formally of the scope and depth of this subject, you shouldn't go forward, is what is my suggestion. Right? Then after these three important modules, sorry, yep.
Is J2CE like only basics? What about J2E and Java EE? Is it like more advanced or something like that?
It's not like this is basics and that is advanced. For working in an application, you need to have a good understanding of both the things. This focuses on a different API. The applications created using Java EE are kind of different. They are meant for web module. I mean, they are meant for plenty of customers, and you deploy it on a server, and you have a client-based access, and it's a kind of client-server applications. And whereas Java SE, these applications are created for standalone users, and you can access it on one machine. It doesn't mean that when you are going into enterprise part, you don't need Java SE. The way it works is what I'll explain you. This is your core let me just draw the architecture for you.
Okay.
Let's imagine this is your Java environment, which is hosted on your machine, some machine. All right. It might be hosted on some operating system. It might be on Unix or Linux or whatever. I'm depicting that one now. This is your OS. Now, this is your underlying architecture which talks to your hardware, which talks to your OS, Java. If you are going to use enterprise applications, if you are writing some enterprise applications, they are going to use internally all the APIs which are provided by Java Standard Edition. If you use servlets or JSP, or for that matter, if you use the other part, that is your EJB or MDBs, they primarily use the same architecture. They use the Java SE API to do things. And in your applications as well, when you are, let's say, imagine that you are creating an enterprise application, application like Gmail maybe, for example. You definitely have to access a lot of things in the database, right?
Yes.
Even though your application is hosted on your server, but you still have to access your database. So when you are accessing your database, you are when you are writing an enterprise application, you are here, you are using these APIs. In the same application, when you are accessing database, you are using this API. Got the point? In the same application, maybe in your Gmail application, you are talking to a file on your user system. You want to read a file from your user. So you are using file API for that purpose. In the same application, if you want to give some kind of collections things, you use util package. So it is not like you don't use this. This will be used throughout your life. This is used everywhere. Right? And it is just, sorry, you come again?
Is it hard to teach us both of them, G2SE and G2EE?
I didn't get your question. Come again.
Is it hard to teach us both of them, G2SE and G2EE?
Okay, yeah.
Is that hard for you to teach us both of them together?
Definitely it's possible, but not together. They are dealt separately. Alright? So
okay.
you will have understanding of these things to make yourself feel comfortable. And once you are done with this, we'll start working on these things, and this will give you a good and exposure to how industries operate and how enterprise applications are created and what are the things that you can impact.
Okay.
Right? So that said, there are a few things which you can obviously opt for after we are done with this is alright. There are some frameworks which can make your life easier with respect to working in enterprise module. Frameworks like Spring, which acts as a kind of supplement or a replacement of EJB in your applications. Spring has modules called Core. It has data access module. It has web module, etc. All right. Yeah, the Spring is a framework which is again used to create enterprise kind of applications. All right. The only difference between Spring and EJB is EJB comes as part of the standard Java, what do you say, company. It's a proprietary of Java. It's proprietary of Sun Microsystems, which is again part of Oracle now. So the vendor or the technology owner for that is Oracle now, and Spring is an open source framework which is used for doing similar things what you do in EJB or session beans or entity beans. But this is one of the frameworks which you can obviously learn for. And then there is another thing which comes as a requirement for Spring enterprise applications is Hibernate, which is essentially used for accessing database, and that comes as part and parcel of any application. So this is also one of the modules what you can learn and leverage this in your career. All right.
Just a fast question. Are you going to teach us like all these modules, or we have to choose only one of them?
Not exactly. It's first things first. As I said, understanding the concepts of the core things are pretty important. So that will start. Okay, this is very much important. Going forward, if you are opting for, you can go for either EJB or Spring and Hibernate, and this is another module what you can opt for. So you altogether have 3 different modules for what I can offer you here. Though I can offer you a lot of things, but this is what primarily I recommend, so that you get good exposure and you can claim some experience, because without understanding these things, I don't think anyone will be working in the industry. So they are the 3 different modules what I can suggest for you. Now it depends on what amount of time are we going to spend and what are your limitations and stuff. Accordingly we can decide. But as I said already that this is quite important. So this is going to be the first focus, and then it depends on what your expectations are, then we can go for the further modules.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are good with that, maybe we can start with the standard edition. And if you already have good awareness of, I think that we can have a kind of fast mode on Java standard edition, because there are some concepts which you might be already aware, like the conditional statements, if, else, etc. So those things can be moved a bit in a fast pace, and you can continue with the libraries, standard libraries and all. And after we are done with that, you can go for any of these modules which are part of your course. I would suggest servlets and JSPs as one of the module, and you can directly go for Spring API, or you can go for EJB as the third option. All right.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
No.
So, do you think we can start with this standard edition?
Yes.
All right. And have you ever written any program in Java? Any of you?
Yeah, I did.
You did. You did use what editors earlier?
Pardon?
You use what editor for that?
I did it in Eclipse Luna.
All right.
I used the beans.
1.7.
And you have done it in NetBeans. Okay. Yep. Good. So that's good. Although we will not use any editor immediately, we will start off working with a notepad just to understand the concepts clearly, and to see what errors are occurring in our applications and how do we get rid of that, so that we are good with the syntax and all. And understanding the object-oriented concepts are part of that core concepts initially. So we'll have a discussion on that. We'll have one class which will discuss about object-oriented programming separately. because that is a primary expectation from any interviewer. If you are starting an interview, OOPS concepts are kind of very much important, so we'll spend some time on that. Right, yeah, that should be fine. So it's good for you to start immediately, right? You can start it from tomorrow itself.
That's okay, no problem. That's great.
You
Yep.
can, if you have time, you can start today.
I do have time. We have already spent almost 45 minutes. So I can spare another 15 minutes with you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
And this time is convenient for you guys, right?
Yes.
All right. So. All right, give me some time. I'll just start my presentation and check back with you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm back. I'm here with you again, and I have a presentation with me here. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
All right, yeah. All right. So the objective of this course is to understand, as I said, object-oriented programming concepts in depth, and understand what a class is, what an interface is, what object is, what a method is, and all. All right. Then we'll use all the data types in Java and understand what are the uses of that. We'll use objects, classes, interfaces, and Java provides a mechanism for handling errors in your applications with exception handlers. We'll use that. Then, as I said, we'll be using files and IO API to access your system files and streams of API. Then the concept of object serialization. This is again part of your the file IO. We'll use threads for making multi-threaded applications, and lastly we'll have some look at the other APIs what are available in Java. So this is my contents. We'll address some inner concepts of virtual machine. We'll understand how Java virtual machine behaves. All right. And over a period of time, we'll also use Eclipse IDE. After we are done with the core concepts, we'll use Eclipse IDE, and we'll proceed our course in Eclipse from there on. Right. And we'll also address things like UI. As I told you, we'll be using AWT, applet and swing. And lastly, you will use the concepts of networking, socket programming kind of things, which helps us talk to some other applications in your network, right? So I will address this concept of OOPS programming in a separate discussion. For now, I'll just skip over this and move forward in the interest of time, okay? Because it again is a big subject and it needs some dedicated attention, all right? Although it is just mentioned as a couple of slides here, but we'll have a good look at that. All right, so if I were to ask you why do you go for Java? Why not some other options? So this is what some common buzzwords what we hear. These are the selling features of Java. All right. This is simple. This is object oriented. This is platform independent or architecture independent. This supports multi-threaded features. This is high performing thing. This is robust. All right. These are some primary features which made Java accepted across the developers community, and we have very wide acceptance. We have very wide usage of the Java programming language. All right. So this is one of the reasons for that. So we have to understand what these things are. All right. When I say Java is simple to use, simple to understand, this is because it has been following the syntax what has been used in C, C++. All right. For that purpose, it was not a difficult task for people to understand or migrate to Java. It was kind of easy task for them. That was one of the reasons that Java got a wide acceptance. All right. And Java is using object-oriented concepts. Although object-oriented programming is not primarily started in Java, it was given a start in C++, but Java was using those features inherently, and it gave a new definition to those things. It made things in a simpler fashion rather than C++. And one of the most striking features or one of the most compelling features for people to use Java is the platform independence, the architecture neutral way in which Java behaves. If you are writing an application in Linux platform and if you were to execute on Unix platform, it is well supported in Java, which was not the case earlier than Java. So that made the language accepted in the wide community of developers. And one of the another compelling and striking features what was not available in the other languages was multi-threaded features. There is no other language which supports multi-threaded Java apart from Java, till Java. After that, there was plenty of things which came into the market to support multi-threaded things, but this was the pioneer. Although C++ was giving some multi-threaded features, but it was very different when compared to Java. And Java has an inherent support for multi-threading. It has an inbuilt support. The platform itself has support for that. And yep, we'll see all these things in our course. We'll understand how these things are possible. Right. Then let's have a look at the data types which are available in Java. These are the standard things what are available in the languages like C, C++. Often we will be referring to this C and C++ for the similarity what we have in Java. And apart from that, the language is kind of popular and people have used it for ages, and understanding that helps us understand Java as well. So just the standard stuff. You have an integer data types are kind of 4. You have a byte which is 8-bit, you have a short which is 2 bytes or 16-bit, and you have an int which is 32-bit or 4 bytes, and you have a long which is 8 bytes and 64. These are integer type numerics which doesn't have any floating point values. And if you have floating values requirement, you have a float which is 4 bytes, 32-bit, and a double which is 8 byte. And then there is a character data type, and the Boolean data types. If you remember, let me ask you this: what is the size of character data type in C or C++? If you can tell me.
Can you repeat the question?
What is the size of character data type in C or C++?
8 bits.
8-bit,
8
yeah,
bytes.
it's 8 bytes. Yeah, it is. That is sorry, it is 8-bit or 1 byte.
8 bits.
All right,
Yeah.
it is 8-bit. Yeah, you agree with that, Lavanya?
Yeah.
Yep. And what is this? I mean, the Java has given 2 bytes for that. Can you tell me any reason for that?
Maybe garbage collection.
Nope. All right. So if you remember that C++ supports ASCII value, ASCII characters. You know this point, right?
Yes.
It supports this, whereas Java has Unicode standards. Unicode includes the characters of different languages as the standard set of characters. So in Java, you can include characters of any language. You can include from Chinese, Japanese, Indian languages like Sanskrit, Hindi, Telugu, etc. So it has the support for multiple characters, and that is one of the reasons that Java applications are used as internationalized applications. I18N applications, you might have heard of this word, if ever, I18N. Alright, it is internationalization. Alright. So the reason behind that is Java uses this character type which has 2 bytes, and it uses Unicode format. It supports different language characters. And lastly, there is the Boolean data type, which includes true or false, just that. Right. And for strings in Java, we have a reference type. It's not part of the standard data type, but rather it is given as a class. You will instantiate objects of that class, and you will be using those things in your applications as strings. So strings in Java are not character arrays, rather it is a different class which is defined. Right. And then you have these standard operators like arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, so short circuit and non-short circuit operators. And then you have assignment operator. There are a couple of compound assignment operators like this one. It is plus equals to, minus equals to. I think you are aware of these things. Ternary operator is kind of used for if-else things. This is one operator which is having 3 operands working on that, and the all other operators are kind of binary operators. And then you have shift operators, right shift, left shift, bitwise operations, comparison operations. This is the pretty much standard stuff what is available in your C, C++ or any standard programming language. And I think you are okay with that. If you have any question on this, let me answer you, or else we'll take it as an assignment to see what these operators are, and we'll come back tomorrow having written something on these operators or understanding these operators, and we'll have a discussion on that. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
I already like all of this kind of stuff. I wrote some codes with them inside Android before.
Sorry, come again. I didn't get you.
I used to put these kinds of operators in my Android classes before.
All right. Yeah. So that's what. Now we'll move forward to one application, and we'll get started writing something. We'll just make our hands dirty today with some small applications, and yep. So I'll use a notepad for this purpose. I'll not be using any editor for that matter right now. Let me increase the size to some extent. Alright, so my intention is writing one small basic application to kickstart my session. Alright, let's say class, first program, public static void main string. Alright, and then I'll have system.out.println. Alright, so this is my program in which I have one method which is a static method, public static void main. For now we'll just think it as the syntax of writing main method, and we'll just take it for granted now. And later in our discussion we'll understand why public, why static, why void, void main, and all. Alright? So let me save this as an application in some folder. I'll go to see users, my user. I'll create a new folder for this training session. Right. Workspace. Training. All right. And then in this I'll save this program.java. I'll save this with this name. And then to start off things, I'll use a command line tool. Yep. All right. So to execute and compile this, there are two steps which is required. Firstly, javac first program.java. All right. Now you might have noticed this kind of error. Why do you think this comes up?
Workspace.
So that's the reason. Sorry?
The extension is not recognized. Maybe you have to make the extensions is unhide, so it will be recognized.
This extension, you mean to say, right? This is Java.java extension, right? No, that's not the cause. No, that is not the cause.
Maybe if you put only javac first program, it will be executed.
That's true, but
Java.
yeah, that is the reason we want to discuss basics. Yeah. this Java C is not recognized as a program at all, first of all. So that is the reason my operating system, my Windows says that what is Java C? I don't know. That is an external compiler. It's an application which is downloaded and installed on your application, on your machine, so that you can work with Java. Okay, so let me give you some clarity on this. Again, come back to the presentation sheet and let's. All right. Now we are. When I say working with Java, we need something called as JDK. All right. What is this JDK?
Java Development Kit.
Yeah, developer's kit or development kit, whatever. Development kit it is in fact. Now this includes all the tools which are those tools like compiler, debugger, and assembler, etc. There are some tools. Now these tools are required by anyone who wants to code applications in Java. Alright, JDK. Agree with me?
Yes.
Now when I say, let me go to the tool again and write this Java. Now what is this Java then? It is showing some stuff. It is not showing that it doesn't recognize Java. It recognizes Java, but it doesn't serve my purpose. It doesn't say, when I say Java, first program.java, it doesn't understand. Alright, the reason behind that is this is another set of tool which is JRE. What is JRE?
Java real runtime environment.
Yes. Why is JRE required?
Because we have to run our program and test it.
That's it. That's precisely the answer. Because you want to run your applications, you need JRE. So in your system, in your machine or in your mobile, you have Java already installed. So what do you think is already installed? Do you think JDK is installed or JRE installed?
JRE.
Obviously. So the end users need JRE to execute Java applications, and people like us who write applications in Java, they need JDK. So if I have JDK installed in my system, then I need to point that to my operating system. I need to say to the operating system that I have a JDK installed and this is where it is installed. So let me just locate whether I have JDK installed or not. I'll go to my C drive, program files, Java, this is JRE. I'll go to program files which is non-8x, Java. There you see I have JDK 1.7.0/67 installed. Alright. So it's pretty much installed and I have this bin directory here, and if you see that I have tools here, applet viewer, Java, Java C, Java doc, Java H, there are plenty of tools, and these are the tools which are used by my system to write applications in Java. Alright, so what I'm going to do is copy this path. I'll copy this path and go to my system's environment variables. Alright, and I'll have a new, I already have plenty of stuff here. I'll just add path to this. So notice that I'm adding the location of this directory till the bin, and then I'm adding a semicolon to separate, and then I'm adding a dot that specifies the current directory which I'll be working on, and then I'm saying okay. Give me a second. I shouldn't modify that because I already have plenty of stuff already in my path. Tomorrow I'll have problem when I start working with Maven or Apache stuff. So let me just append this to the existing thing. If you don't have a path variable, you will create a new one and you can just add that. You can go through this thing again and you can work with me. Alright, now I will restart this CMD and I'll say Java C. There you go. Now it understands my Java C program. Alright, so now I'll have I'll go to the working directory and then I'll say Java C first program.java, hit enter, and there you go. It does the compilation. And if I see my directory, I have two things now. I have first program.class and first program.java, and it is compiled. My stuff is compiled. All right. If I want to run this, I'll say Java first program and enter. There you go. I see this message. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any questions to address?
That's easy.
So I would just recommend you to set up your workspace in this way, the way I have done, and for the next few discussions we'll be continuing on Notepad, a standard editor. We will not use Eclipse or any IDE for that matter, because we are discussing the basic concepts and syntax. The IDEs will help you to understand the syntax and they will make your things easier, but that's not what we want. We want to have a solid foundation in the basics. So please bear with me and change your working environment to this. You set your working environment variables to GDK, use a notepad, write a program in this fashion, and be ready with the same setup tomorrow. Then we'll have things proceeded further.
Okay.
All right. So if you have no questions, then I think we can wind up the session and we can spend some time tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Thank you a lot. And thank you for your time. It was a great session.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
Hussein, are you there? Hello.